Movie night back with another classic. I'm your host Easy. Welcome to Calling, but I wish y'all seen my little setup. I'm holding the phone is being held by Cheese Dip Jar. Anywho, I figure I'll put this on record. How many cars I've owned slash own in 18 years of the 18 years of my 38 years of living. I've owned. I counted 16. I'm sure it's more than that, but from what I can remember, because every time I'm thinking about them, I kind of miss one, and I'm like, oh, all right, I almost forgot about that one. So hopefully, I haven't forgot any, but I figure I'll make a video about this and kind of share with y'all my past with some of them. So my very first vehicle that I got was back in 2006. I remember getting the 2007 Toyota Camry. It was a CE Super Basic. That's what started it all. The taxi thing, I was doing that for a while. And then things kind of went downhill from there. I won't get into that, but yep, a 2007 Toyota Camry. This was when they did the refresh from that somewhat squared body, somewhat round, squared. The 1998 generation. No, I think there was one after. It was the one with the smaller lights. I never really liked that body style, but I remember when that 2007 Camry came out, it shut the game down like that. That was like the transition from the Lincoln Town Car to the Toyota Camry. Like, drivers were getting more, they was looking for fuel efficiency, etc. Not that the Lincoln was a bad car and fuel, but it definitely burned a lot more than a Camry. You can't compare a 4 to an 8. But yeah, I was one of the first cab drivers to have one of those. One of the very first in the hood. It was me and some other kid. I was 20, I think, 20 years, 20 at the time, probably 19. I'm not too sure. But, yup, 19, I think that was my very first vehicle. It was financed. Again, young, dumb, running around wilding out. And it didn't go so well. I won't get into that story. Maybe one day in the channel we will. I'll wait till my daughters both are 18 plus. Second, 2010 Camry. So I lost my license when I had the 2007. The car got repoed, etc. Then we stopped the cab driving thing. Then we, I found out wifey was pregnant. I wound up wanting to get some money real fast. I wound up getting a 2010 Toyota Camry. And this one was the 2007 Camry that I had was basic. It was CE. I didn't know anything about cars. I just wanted to do, get money, the taxi thing. The 2010, this one was the SE. This one had a whole wide body kit. The seats weren't cloth, but they were like that rough material. I didn't really care too much for leather because I knew what I was going into. I didn't want to, get leather and etc. You gotta keep up with it, all of that. But it was definitely a nice spec, real nice spec. Third, this was a car that I feel like is very underappreciated. Underdog, a car that I slept on. A 2014 Lincoln MKS. That was definitely a nice car that I will always remember. That car was super comfortable. I got to go on a couple long distance trips. I remember it was like one of my first, was it? Yeah, it was one of my first times leaving like New York, aside from going to the Dominican Republic, it wasn't until I turned like maybe, 24, 25 where I realized the world was bigger than Brooklyn. I was one of those real diehard New York folks. But yep, that 2014 MKS, that was a good car to me. If y'all can find, and it's super cheap right now. If y'all can find a 2014 Lincoln MKS, that car gave me no issues. I think maybe a battery issue. And at the time, parts were expensive. That was like the transition from the town car to, to the MKS. They kind of wanted to keep not really, because it was that Lincoln had that that hearse looking joint. I forgot. I think that was like the last town car. That's what they called it a town car. Real ugly, but I always thought that this would have been a great transition from the town car, the MKS, because it was still a car. It was super spacious, a lot of trunk space. It was just, it was like a modern day town car. Super comfortable, heated, steering wheel heated, and cool seats. It had a decent radio. It had the sink. The sink at the time was like cool, it was good compared to, to now, not so good, but it was definitely a good system. It sounded good. It looked good. I super comfortable. I remember every day for the 4 years that I was doing Uber and taxi in that car, somebody had a compliment, something good to say about how comfortable that car was, how nice it was, how elegant, the presence. That's one thing, Lincoln was always good at. Definitely the presence. Like when a Lincoln pull up, big body, you definitely see it. So it's definitely a nice car. I'm all over the place with this, by the way. I'm just kind of going by this list. Another car, the Scaddy. The Scaddy, I'll tell y'all the car and I'll give y'all like a quick backstory on it. The Scaddy started the whole muscle thing. Like I love Chargers. I still love Chargers. I would never get one again. Maybe, who knows? If we hit the lotto or something like that, we get a crazy bag, I'll probably get one just to kind of have it. I'm not one of those stash cars. I drive mines. But the Scaddy started it all. Like the Scaddy, I've always wanted a Camaro, but the Camaro was always too small, because of the baggage that I have, kids. And look at me now. That's what I got now. So obviously I said the hell with it and, got one anyway. But the Scaddy started it all. The Scaddy is a 2019 Dodge Scat Pack narrow body. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? I the basic interior really got to me after a while. I remember this was before I started the channel. It was the cloth seats, no sunroof, no blind spot, no heated steering wheel, no cool seats. So it was like too much money for how basic that car was. But it was super fun to drive. It got me real curious, and I remember then selling that. At the time, I still had the Camry, so I had to when I sold the 2019 Scat Pack, I wound up getting a 2003 F250. That thing I had for some years. Like I think I recently got rid of that sometime last year, maybe 2 years ago. I'm not too sure, but that was one of them. That was a vehicle that's still with me for a long time. Like I had that for a while. I had that a good 20, a good solid like 4 years. I love that truck, by the way. Beat the hell out of it. Never did anything to it. And it's crazy because when I sold it, the guy, I don't want to put his business out there, but something happened to where it was just sitting, and the guy that I bought it from, he wound up buying it back, and he wound up doing the brakes, rotors, and that thing was running brand new. It had 317,000 miles. I never did anything on that truck. It ran like a champ. It had the, what you call that? The Triton engine, the 5.4. That's a great engine. I hear a lot of bad things, but I stand by that. If you get yourself one of those F250s with the Triton engine in it, hold on to that. You got yourself a great truck. I'm gonna try not to drag this video because there's a lot. I still got a lot left. Then I didn't want to do a payment anymore because I had got rid of the 2019 Scaddy. And look at that, I almost forgot. I had a 2014 Nissan Altima for a little while. Sold that. I wanted to get rid of that because Nissan, with that generation of Nissans, they were going through that little rubbish with the transmissions being garbage. So I got rid of that as fast as I can. It was beat the hell. Somebody had it. They beat the hell out of it. It needed a paint job, needed bunch of like the inside internal body clips to make it look like a hole. It needed a fender, needed headlights, taillights, all of that. I basically restored the hell out of that car, got rid of it. Um, Moving on. Then the 2020 wide body came in. I really love that car. The wide body, it definitely drove better than the narrow body. I felt better on curbs. The presence of that car is crazy too, because that's one of them other cars where I always got a compliment on. Every day I got a compliment on that. And I remember being over the road, truck driving. Wifey was driving it, and she didn't like it because of the attention, but then she liked it because it was fast. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I would have it, her brother would leave the Honda, and for a while she was driving it because I would kind of move with it, and she was like, "It's just these Hondas and Nissans. There's just nothing like that Charger. I love the acceleration. The narrow body, they're both the same, but definitely the wide body is faster. I'll argue that with anybody. The wide body is faster, and it's a lot better car. This one had all the options. It had the cool seats, the heated steering wheel, the sunroof, wide body, super fire. I like that car. I love the way Chargers just stand out. It's definitely a sight to see all the time. Even still to this day, you still kind of stare at them. Moving along, I had a Sequoia. I like Sequoias. Sequoias are nice. They definitely rugged. You could beat on them. Comfortable. That's one thing I didn't like about the Chargers. If you think that Dodge is comfortable, you don't know what luxury is. Respectfully, you cannot do a 10-hour drive and be comfortable. If you are, you ain't never been in many cars like that before, and you probably have, but you never really driven in them a long haul. You gotta drive a car for over 10 hours to know how comfortable it is. That car was not comfortable for long rides. I wouldn't recommend that. If you're going to do long trips, don't buy a Dodge. Maybe those leather seats that they have. My 2020 had the Alcantara with the leather mix. Don't get that. I would say get the old leather, get that, that what they call that Daytona leather. You got to get that those leather seats. They might be more comfortable. But yeah, I didn't like how that wide body felt. Long trips. It was super hard. Like I remember being super exhausted, everybody. And then I ran at a Benz, the S550 coupe. I seen that video. It was like going from a chair to a cloud. You know what I'm saying? After 10 hours driving from Georgia to Miami, we jumped from the 2020 Charger to the Benz, and it was such a plush and relieving feel. Moving along, Escalade, we still got that. I won't get into that. I'll let y'all watch the videos if y'all interested. I got a whole bunch of videos. I done changed the oil. I done a couple things to it. I got videos on that. So if you want to know, just look down. Love the Escalade. I think that's we might stay with that. I think we might keep that. If anybody contemplating on whether to get an Escalade, if you finance one, just make sure you get warranty on the engine and transmission, and start doing some homework on LS swapping that. Make sure you got a stash just in case something happened to the engine, and swap everything. I'm thinking about mine after I finish. I'm almost done paying it off. I might just throw 350 everything in there, 350 trans, 350 engine. Call it a day. I got something that's gonna last forever. I just hope the electronics, integrate well. That's gonna be like a tough one, but I'm sure it's doable. The chassis feels similar to the Blazer that I got. Is almost like the same square body type. But a lot of Escalade, super comfy. I definitely, if you're out there doing long trips, it's good on gas and it's super comfortable. I definitely recommend that Escalade. Moving along, 2019 ZL1, love that spec, silver. I had to get rid of it because times got hard and it broke me. The ZL1 will go down in history as the best car I've ever driven and my dream car. Like, I love that car. Anything after a ZL1 is icing on the cake. in my life. Like, I love me a Camaro. I need that. You know, I was scrolling through Facebook, and you know, right, I love my inventory right now of my cars. But I was scrolling through Facebook looking for some parts, and I seen no, I was on TikTok, and I seen like the evolution of Camaros, and I still love me that 1979 Camaro. I was like, maybe one day we might consider getting that one. The only reason why I wouldn't is because I got the ZL1. I don't want to have, like, I don't want it to be tough for me to choose which one to drive. So you know what, the ZL1, we'll keep that. But I love that 1979 body. It's just that point, you know, that window takes up the whole. It's frameless, and it's just one window on the side. You understand? I just love that look. Love that look. Moving along, 2004 Town Car. If you want a hoopty, get any Panther platform vehicle. If you're looking for a hoopty, that's the best car. I recommend that. And you could work on that yourself. I changed suspensions, intake manifolds. That's it. That's it. Suspension and the intake manifold. I did that all myself. I love me a Lincoln Town Car. That is one car that if I was to find super cheap in great condition, I'd probably scoop that. Definitely. And go whistling diesel on it. Like, I'm a put on a crazy suspension and just, you know, do something that's never been done before and see if it'll still be reliable. But I love that car. I love me a Town Car. That, you know, before the taxi thing, that was the one. I remember every time we would call a cab and a Town Car showed up, it was fire. Like, you felt like the president. You know what I'm saying? So I love me the Town Cars. This next one I miss, and the nostalgic of it is starting to kind of fade away. The Buick Regal Custom. And I know that's not a popular car, but anybody who's owned that car before loves that car. There's some fans out there. You know, it's kind of like the one, you know, I guess back in 1993, you would buy yourself the Roadmaster or the Impala, and you'll buy the lady the Buick Regal Custom, you know, because it was smaller. But I missed that car. That car was solid, and it's crazy too. Shout out to Aaron. I sold it to him. At first, his wife was driving it, but she wanted something a little faster because it felt sluggish. But he was like, yo, I love this thing. You know, I drive it. It doesn't burn gas. It's comfortable, you know, and it's different. And yeah, you don't see them like that. So it's definitely a nice car. That 3.8 is super solid. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely recommend, if you see one of those for cheap, as somebody on Facebook right now that they got one, and they got like 100,000 miles on it. And I thought about it, but I was like, nah, I won't do that car twice. You know, nothing wrong with it. I just, you know, I like big body cars. Next, we'll mention it. We got the Blazer. I love the Blazer. Love the Blazer. Aaron wanted to bet me $100. I was like, I'm not buying no more cars this year, unfortunately. So if y'all do see me, something else on the channel will be something that I'll be reviewing. But it'd be something that I'll be reviewing. But I love my Blazer. I'm not getting rid of that. I do want to be able to say I've owned a Benz in the future. I'm kind of over the Beamer. You know, me wanting a Beamer. I don't want one no more. I want a Benz before I want a Beamer, but let's see what's up. I don't know. Like I said, I love what I got. Next one I got 2020 CL1. I don't get tired of that. Whenever I do get bored, I find something to do. You know, like I find somewhere to go, or I get hungry. Yo, let's go out, eat out. Jump in a Camaro. I've been wanting to jump in a Camaro to see how I do in the snow, but we're not out here looking for clout that bad. You know, I don't mind a little bit of clout, but I'm not risking my ZL1. We're not doing that again. I had a 2003 F350 dually. How do I feel about dualies? I don't like dualies. Honestly, I like big, and I know I said I like big body vehicles, but dualies is just too big. Like, parking that thing is freaking crazy. Like, you feel like you're gonna sideswipe somebody, and I don't like that feeling. It's just too big for me. Give me a F250 You know, regardless of how high it is, regardless of how wide it is, just those fenders really throw you off when it comes to parking. So if you are looking to purchase one of those, make sure you drive one to see if you're going to like it. I guarantee you, if you like big cars, you might have a certain size you just want to, you know, kind of stay on. You're not going to like the dually. You might not. You might not. I don't like it. Not for me. It's too big. Next one, 2008 Jaguar XJ8. If I was to do another Jaguar, it'd be the what is it? The XK. It's the smaller one to the 2008, that generation. I really like that car. Would I do one again? I wouldn't say I wouldn't, but nah, I don't think so. I think I'm done with Jaguars. And, you know, to each his own, but the path they're taking, you know, Jaguar, and I'm sure it might be a great car, you know, their motion wasn't motioning, you know, so they're switching up now where they're going fully electric. Good for them, you know, switch it up, because obviously, you know, what y'all was doing wasn't working. Like, those cars are just not appealing anymore. You know what I'm saying? I do like that last XJ is definitely beautiful, but it's just so many rumors about it being garbage, you know, where it's just, I'm not even gonna, it's crazy because I went to CarMax a couple times, when I was car shopping a couple times. CarMax, you know, the employees would tell me, don't buy that. I'm like, they're like, you know, J stands for junk. I'm like, all right, cool. If they don't want to sell it to me, it's super crazy. I can't believe I left this car for last. The Celica, 2000 Toyota Celica. This car, I like this car. I put the seats in there, the status chairs in there. Ever since I put the status chairs in there, I don't like the way the seating position is. It's comfortable and everything, but I don't know. I think they're too high, and you can't adjust them to lower them. So I'm kind of like, that car right now is sitting. And we're gonna do something with that. I got it up for sale with everything that I've done to it, but I'm sure nobody's gonna give me that kind of money. So we'll just kind of wait and see what we're gonna do with that. I got an idea. Hopefully, so it'll fall through. I would get into depth with these cars. Like I said, I just wanted to put this on the record on how many vehicles I've owned in the past, just for, you know, future references. I'll be able to probably watch this video and look back and say, wow, you know, I can't believe I've had all these cars. I had to say, it's been a decent experience with all of them. The only thing I didn't like about the F-350 was the parking situation. Other than that, on the road, you felt like, you know, a boss. I got to give myself props. I've definitely made some good choices. Believe it or not, this is not like a dream car garage type, you know, past, but you know, it's great memories. I've definitely had great memories in them. They've all been good to me. I've never really had any issues with none of these cars. My 2010 Toyota Camry, I pretty much gave that away to my homie. He needed a new transmission. The transmission went out on it after 150,000 miles. Mind you, this was one of them cars where I did the taxi thing in it, so I put a lot of miles on it in a very short span of time. So that's probably why the transmission went out. That's about it. That's about the only real serious issue I've ever had with one of them cars. You know, it was that 2010 Camry. It's crazy, right? A Camry. Other than that, every other car on this list, I never really had an issue with. Let me know if y'all want me to touch a specific vehicle. I will make another video on it. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Love y'all. Stay tuned. More content coming soon. Car Language.